The Master of Finance in Frankfurt, first of all, Frankfurt as a location. So Frankfurt is the main city in Germany for banks, for financial institutions. So if you plan to work aside, to do an internship here in Frankfurt, you will have closer ways, less travel time to spend, and also accommodation. Everything is a bit closer if you also live here in Frankfurt. Then also because of the high reputation of the Frankfurt School, which always ranks among the best business schools, especially for Master of Finance in Germany. And also because it's a very international crowd here. The Master of Finance is an English only program. So you really get out of the comfort zone here. You really meet different cultures, diverse people, and it's a great environment to grow and to learn. The capital markets concentration I choose because, as I already said, I'm very interested in markets. I like to look on the macro perspective of things, and I'm also interested in different assets, for example, fixed income or derivatives or currencies. And capital markets gives you these kind of technical knowledges when it comes to derivatives, when it comes to risk management. And I think it's a very good concentration if you're interested in either portfolio management or like a market related position, like for example, trading or debt capital markets, something like this. I think capital markets is a good concentration, and for me, it works pretty well with my career goals. At Frankfurt School in the Master of Finance, you have the experimental learning company project, typically in the third semester, where you collaborate with a company on a project over several weeks, and you have specific tasks and deadlines that you have to submit to the company, and they will give you a lot of like realistic data and realistic things, like things from reality. And there you can basically blend in the knowledge you gained before from the lectures, from the courses with a company that kind of tries to challenge you with real world problems that they might also face through their work. I did a couple of work experience during my Master of Finance. One was in debt capital markets, and in this internship I learned a lot, like how things really work. Obviously there are some things from university, how you price a bond, how you derive, for example, the yield. But in reality, things always are a bit different, and there are also sometimes conventions in reality that you might not know just from academia, because it's just how things are done. And this really boosted my kind of technical skills, but obviously also like working within PowerPoint, working with Excel, working with people together, collaborating in a team. And this like boosted this kind of skill set too. So it's the things you learned already applied, and then also things on top like tools, but also how to behave in certain situations. At Frankfurt School, you can go to the career services, and they offer a lot of different services to students. One that I took quite early was the CV check. So you basically submit a CV or even a cover letter in combination, and they basically check from wherever you want to apply, whether it's consulting or investment banking or something related. And they check like what you did good, what could be improved, how certain templates look that you could use. And they provide you with a lot of face-to-face feedback. And another thing is the career days, which is an annual career fair at Frankfurt School, where most banks, most financial institutions are present. And this is also organized by Career Services, free for all Frankfurt School students. You can just walk by, go to your preferred companies, have a chat with them and ask some questions, and also connect with the people there. And these are, for example, two ways where they supported my career preparation. From the Frankfurt School perspective, it's definitely the people, the international setting. So you have a lot of people from abroad, from Asia, from America, through Europe, and this is a nice atmosphere. You have a lot of different people, a very inclusive community. The next thing I would say is the campus. We have a very modern campus. We have a very thought through campus that is designed to have close ways from the canteen to the library to the classroom. So you always have a high chance of seeing people on the go, seeing your professors and having a chat, network with them. And also in general, I would say the atmosphere, you have smaller classrooms, you have more on-hand material and lectures. And for me, this was always a very, very good experience at Frankfurt School. Yes, professionally, obviously, you will always speak English in most situations. So it's a good thing if your English, day by day English, speaking it every day, this helps a lot. And also lets you know how different people work, especially in group works. There are sometimes also cultural differences, which is very interesting to see. And on a from a personal perspective, I would say it's just good to meet different cultures, to have an exchange also on a more personal sphere. And I always enjoyed this atmosphere, and I think it's a very good atmosphere, a very good community to be in. I think because we have a very close and very connected community, when you have certain challenges, for example, finding an internship or finding accommodation here in Frankfurt, there's a lot of WhatsApp groups, there's a lot of people you typically meet, especially through the orientation week, which is at the very start of the masters. So you always have a community you can ask questions to. And obviously you can also ask the Frankfurt School, the study advisors, or the student office. And if you have some questions, you can always come to them, and they always help you, always try to find a solution, even if it's sometimes more specific or more complicated problems. I also heard this from a lot of students, and they were always very satisfied. There's been a lot of achievements. For me, it's definitely seeing how a lot of different things you would believe in the beginning that would be hard, for example, language barrier in an English-only program, or a lot of different people, a lot of very smart people. This can be sometimes intimidating, especially before you start. So these challenges, I think, were always, nowadays, you don't even see them as challenges anymore. And if I have to pin it down to a specific achievement, I think there's been a lot of group works where I was also in a position to coordinate and to make a kind of strategy what we do. And whenever you get full points in these group works as a team, for me this was always one of the best achievements, when you really see people developing over a few weeks, a team growing together, synergies become more and more efficient and so on. So I think this is something I'm very proud of, to witness this and be part of, for example, these teams and group works also, or related tasks. Yeah, I would say take the leap of faith. So in the beginning, it can be a bit intimidating if you're not part of the Frankfurt School. It's this elite university here in Frankfurt. There are a lot of big companies visiting, a lot of very important people visiting the school. But the moment you will join, you will see how inclusive it is. It is challenging, especially Master of Finance, like on an academic base. It's a challenging program, so shouldn't underestimate this. But like the atmosphere is very supporting, and a lot of people, whether it's your students or people from the study advisors or the student office, they are all there to help, and they will help. And there's nothing to be afraid of. So it's definitely something you should be, yes, embracing and take with a very optimistic mindset.